G'day everybody, welcome back to Dune Awakening. Hope you guys are doing well. We're still in front of the cave that Derek Chinara is, I guess, holed up in. And we completed the quest with him in the previous one, thank goodness. It did actually take a little bit to figure out how to complete that quest, you know, with all the bugs and stuff like that involved with it as well. I did take the liberty of going back to our base in the end of the previous episode, you know, between that episode and this one, just to clear up all of our inventory, so we definitely have quite a bit more space to work with. The only thing that I couldn't really let go is these two items here. So apparently these are like contract items, which for whatever reason I can't really let go of. So that's a little bit disappointing, but that's alright. I'm going to hang on to them for a little bit just to understand whether or not we're going to have a need for it, you know, soonish. If not, then we can always let go of it, and then, you know, we can maybe come back to this place to try and get these things once more to complete those contracts. I don't want to be holding on to them for too long, obviously, because we don't really have a use for them right this moment. Okay, so we're trying to get to Griffin's Reach because we're obviously trying to meet that outlaw. I think we should make a crossing over here, which gives us the opportunity to perhaps check out this Aaron's Refuge. Maybe we should just set a marker there. I should really try to remember to stay in the shade when I'm checking the map or, you know, being a little bit idle. Now, as I was loading into the game, I felt like I was actually being watched. There were like 1 or 2 players or something like that up on those rocks over there, so I sincerely hope that they don't like start opening fire or anything like that. And between episodes I did actually come across other players as well, and they have mostly ignored us, so that's, I guess, a good thing. I mean, maybe they didn't even notice that I was there, although I'm pretty sure one of them did. Perhaps maybe PvP is not exactly, like, on by default, and that's why I could sort of get through scot-free. Now, I did notice that our blade has been quite damaged recently. I guess the durability has almost ran out. So we might actually need to craft ourselves a new blade very soon. We will do that if we have to. We just need to make sure that we actually have enough metal to actually do that. Oh my god. Yeah, I am getting pretty dehydrated out here. So this was probably not the best pathway. And maybe I just need to quickly find some shade. Otherwise our water is going to run out pretty quickly. Speaking of water, I might as well have whatever's in the still suit. Just top things up a little bit, and that should be the entrance to the cave. Though someone looks like they've just entered that cave, so I don't know if we'll actually find too much loot in there. But we're about to find out. Fibers I could do with more. Is that another player? Possibly. I think so. Alright, I might come back to this cave another time. That could have been the player that was skulking about up top. We'll live and let live, as they say. So one thing that I did catch a glimpse of, which, you know, I didn't really record.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
was a sandstorm. And just as I say that, there is a sandstorm rolling through. So yeah, this will be kind of an interesting thing to experience, at least for you guys, because I mean, if you've not played, then you get to see what happens when there is a sandstorm. I probably do need to find myself a little bit of cover. Now, sandstorms are quite bad because they do damage, I guess. So, which means you'd want to be in some form of shelter when it does roll through. Just not sure where this sandstorm is. Oh, there it is. You can see it sort of coming through. Alright. Well, I mean, we
weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Tried to avoid, you know, having to do anything with that player, but I think we might actually need to come back in here and just, you know, seek shelter. Hoping he's already left. Yeah, it looks like he has, so that's good. So we'll just take a look here. Okay, looks like the items have already spawned again, which is good. And this did catch my eye before. Oh, okay, a bit of water there. That's pretty good, actually. More dots, which I guess I don't really need. I've got plenty of dots still. And yeah, the nice thing is you can also check on the map and actually see the sandstorm blow through in real time, which should also give you an indication of when it's safe to leave. And we should try and make that crossing right about now, I think. So let's get to it. That must be it up there. Now the real question is, how do I actually get there without having to, like, climb this steep cliff? I suppose maybe I can work my way around the rock formation, try to figure out if there's actually an easier way up. Maybe we just need to go around this way. Maybe that's another scavenger camp down there. If we do get into combat, I do actually need to collect a little bit more blood, because I don't have any more blood in our blood pouches. It might be a decent thing to try and collect. Yeah, okay. So... oh, someone's built up here. Very cool. Oh, there's another player who has ignored us. That's a good thing. Maybe it's actually up this way. Maybe he was going in the right direction. Yeah, there we go. Alright, let's check out this trading post and see what it's all about.
Alas, Offworlder, it seems my fame precedes me even here, at the arse end of the Haga Basin. Your Emperor's lackey, Count Fenring, has put an obscene bounty on my head. And while I'm flattered to be his great boogeyman, the added attention is making life complicated. Take a look around. There's a contract on the board that might interest you. But be careful. Civilized men are not to be trusted.
Civilized men are not to be trusted. Okay. I guess not all NPCs are interactable. Just as well, because otherwise we might be here forever. I don't suppose you can open fire at NPCs. I guess maybe you could, and they would just all demolish you, maybe. So who are you supposed to speak to? Maybe this person? I mean, we're not exactly in the building itself, but we may as well have a chat.
Please don't disturb me. I'm doing important field research.
Are you not the duly appointed representative for House Argazaz?
Yes, I suppose I am. I thought I might be able to avoid envoy duty out here in the Badlands, but somebody always wants something. What do you want?
Tell me more about House Argazaz.
For many millennia, House Argazaz was actually a house minor in the orbit of the great House Quays. At the time, the lords of House Quays were renowned for the dramatic design philosophy, which was centered on gilded and ornate flourishes. I believe the old Terran name for it was Rococo.
Never heard of House Quays.
Most have not. House Quays was closely aligned with House Tantor, the renegade house responsible for the Seleucian Holocaust. Fortunately, the young Emperor Hasek Carino III survived and moved the imperial throne to Kaitane.
What is the Seleucian Holocaust?
Before it was a barren and inhospitable hellhole, Seleucia Secundus was a beautiful green world and the crown jewel of the Imperium. On the wrong side of a feud with the Imperial House Carino, House Tantor was declared renegade and lost the seat in the Landsraad. In reply, Tantor unloaded their arsenal of House Atomics on Seleucia, devastating it utterly. Now, the planet is only fit for monsters and Sardaukar.
Damn, so they nuked the entire planet. What happened to House Quays?
They were purged alongside all other houses with allegiance to Tantor. And with their elimination went the Imperium's taste for golden filigree.
I don't know about you guys, but she seems to have like gigantic teeth for whatever reason. Is that where House Argazaz comes in?
Indeed. That is when my ancestor, Gundisalvo Argosaz, came forward with a practical minimalist design style that rejected the drama of old. The young emperor embraced his vision for clean, uncomplicated lines and angular geometric shapes wrought in unvarnished materials. Gaze out across the Arrakis Badlands, or any frontier vista on any world in the Imperium, and you will see our work.
Okay, so they're responsible for maybe the entire Dune art style. Possibly. What are you doing at Griffin's Reach?
As it happens, my diplomatic billet was supposed to be in Arrakeen, but one can hardly observe frontier conditions from behind great walls.
What was that? Sounded like a big explosion. You choose to be here instead of the comfort of a city?
Don't fool yourself. The city has as many, if not more, jackals than anywhere in the Badlands. But I'm here for a purpose. I'm in the planning stages for a new homestead design that can withstand the rigors of the deep desert.
Griffin's Reach is hardly the deep desert. What do you hope to learn here?
Of course, a sojourn into the waste is preferable, but my father is conservative and would never authorize such an expedition. Nor would he authorize my presence here, for that matter. But if I cannot experience the deep desert firsthand, I must speak with those who have.
Okay. Interesting. So that's unlocked something in the Codex. I'm not really going to worry too much about taking a look at that, to be honest. I don't think that's the person that we do need to speak. So we do need to pick up some contracts, deliver some ore, and buy a unique Hadra Liturgon schematic from the merchant. So we'll see if we can do that. Do I even have money though? That's the thing. Like, I stashed a lot of my money back at the base, so I wonder if I'm gonna have to, like, redo another jaunt back to the base to get money. Anyway, let's have a chat here. Gavuri.
Look at the way you stand. No discipline, no confidence. I've killed 1,000 like you on the battlefield.
And who the hell are you to talk to me that way, old man?
I could write my resume on your filthy hide with knives and artillery, but then there would be little of you left to work with. But don't despair. Salvation is at hand. I can show you how to fight. I can teach you how to kill. And it will only cost you a little pain.
Okay, well, what do you have to teach to us?
Then listen closely. During the Battle of Alcyon, I was drugged and kept out of it by a group of conspirators. For the sake of my honor, I have spent the last 8 years tracking down and destroying them, one by one. Who knows how the Battle of Alcyon would have turned out if I hadn't been kept away. And now, I have reason to believe the conspirators are nearby. Track them down, kill them. My thirst for vengeance has been slaked by 1,000 flasks of cheap beer, but it is still my price for training.
I mean, if he was so good at killing people, he could essentially track these guys down and do it himself, wouldn't you think? Why hire me? But I will still accept the contract, though.
Do this for me, and I'll set your feet on the path of the trooper.
Path of the Trooper. Okay. Well, that's probably not exactly what we want. We want, like a path of, like, the Swordmaster or whatever. Ornithopters. So, this is another side quest that we've just picked up. Then there's also this, maybe? Open contracts board. Pick up the first contract in the scrap metal chain from the contract board. Zantara's head. 1 million Solari. I wonder if we could actually do that. It looks like we could. Scrap metal. Copper required. Yes. Deliver 40 copper ore to Griffin's Reach trade post. Let's not pick up the one for Zantara, because he's kind of our mentor at the moment. Deliver the copper ore to the contract board and then contact the issuer. So this is the contract board, right? Okay, so we can simply deliver the items here. Oh, and I made the mistake of not coming prepared with the copper that we need. That's fine, we'll be able to find copper pretty easily. And then buy a unique Hajra Liturgon schematic. I've only got 62 Solari. Presumably this quest, or this contract, is going to give me the Solari required to then make the purchase.
Hey, stop. I know the face of every sand-sucking bandit, scavenger, and merc from here to Harko, and I don't recognize you. So perhaps you'll give us the courtesy of who you are? And while you're at it, why our airspace is crawling with Sadukar.
We can tell them about the prison transport and our escape.
It's a good story, I'll give you that. But even a sandworm might choke on it. Nobody escapes a Sadukar security grid. Not even Zantara. Welcome to Griffin's Reach, stranger. The rules here are simple. Pay up front and don't cause trouble, or we'll toss you into the storms. Good?
Good.
Name's Mir. I do the trading and the talking. My silent partner here does the fighting. And there's a contract board in the corner, if you need work.
You mentioned the Sadukar patrols?
The Padishah Emperor, in his infinite wisdom, has blessed us with a cohort of his most efficient and ruthless Imperial Sardaukar.
The Imperial Sardaukar are hunting outlaws?
They use Chom mercs for the hunting mostly. I suspect the real Sardaukar are looking for Fremen and that bastard Zantara.
What happened to the Fremen?
They are no more. Exterminated by the Sardaukar, and rightfully so. Only the terrorist Zantara persists. But I'm confident, not for much longer.
Tell me about Zantara.
Have you been living under a rock? Zantara is a terrorist scum of the highest order. The Emperor has placed 1,000,000 Solari bounty on his head.
Yeah, we saw that. Does Zantara ever visit this region?
I don't think so. But if he did, the Sardaukar would garrote him. In the meantime, the Kirab suffice as target practice.
What about those scavengers?
Scavengers is too good a name for them. Everyone does what they can to scrape by. Scavies do it by mindlessly killing everyone and each other.
Alright, let's go back and let's trade.
What's on your mind?
So this is what we're after, right? Hajra Liturgon Mark 1. Oh, it's a water container. Yeah, okay, definitely want this, but we need the Solaris for it. So how many Solaris do we get for this? 1,500. Okay, cool. So, tell you what guys, I'll go out, look for all the copper that we need, and then we'll be back to complete those quests. And we're back with the copper that we need, so just going to hand that in, collect our Solari, and then make that purchase. And we'll see what else we need to do from there. So let's deliver the items. Yep, we just need 40. I assume, yeah, okay, if I drag, it'll just max out to 40. And we just need to contact the issuer. Yeah, they've waited weeks for that damn copper, apparently. Okay, cool. Won't worry about reading the entire thing. No contracts available at the moment, that's fine. But we do have this other contract to kill Atu Golvan from our very prickly friend here. Let's not worry about that just yet. Many contracts require you to report into the contract issuer over the CommuniNet as a final step. If you don't contact the issuer immediately, you can always do this in the Contracts tab by selecting the contract and clicking Contact Issuer. Okay, cool. But for now, let's make this purchase.
You keep coming back like this, I'll have to stop calling you stranger. Stranger?
Oh, did I not buy that?
You keep coming back like this, I'll have to stop calling you stranger. Stranger?
Buy that, yep. Just one is enough. There we go. Alright, so assuming that that now lets us make the item or pick up contract scrap metal wrecking crew from the contract board. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Scrap metal, okay, sure.
You're going to find, Offworlder, that Arrakis is a planet of unique opportunity. No former prisoner would ever have access to the military technology of the Great Houses. But with the war, chaos reigns. Ships crash and are shot down, sometimes spilling military-grade materials onto the sands. The Fremen know the ways of the desert and how to do a lot with very little. The Imperium, on the other hand, have infinite resources and the production capacity of countless worlds. Plunder them, off-worlder. There is a shipwreck near here. Slip inside and claim your share of the spoils.
Okay, well, that's what we'll try to do. Shipwrecks are massive structures, often visible from afar due to their sheer size. A green map marker indicates that components needed to create weapons and armor can be found at these locations. Cool. Alright, well, we'll try to work our way to this shipwreck in that case. Do we even have a marker visible? Oh, here. Okay. Yeah, and that actually takes us relatively close back to our home, which is not too bad. But also, we can actually try to get to this contract here to kill Artu Golvan. So, we should try and aim to do both of those. I am kind of curious, though, about the thing that we just bought. So, I guess this is a schematic, which means that we would need to go back to the fabricator and use it there. And perhaps maybe it might unlock. We do need a few other bits and pieces, though. Spice-infused copper dust, micro sandwich fabrics. Yeah, I think the copper ingots and micro sandwich fabrics are easy to come by, but the spice-infused copper dust, I have no idea how to get to that. Whoops, we should take a bit of cover here. Again, getting very distracted. I'll just hang out right here for a second. But, yeah, we should actually plan our journey. I think it's not going to be too difficult to just, like, traverse through this area and then make, you know, the crossing over here. So, let's put a marker down there just so that we know where we need to go and we can just keep track of it. Alright, so a bit of a jaunt. Might see you guys there. Okay guys, so we are very close to another bigger scavenger camp called Breaker Station. There's some intel here, which I would like, so we may as well explore the area a little bit to see what we can find before moving forward to where we need to go. I am feeling very, very thirsty right now, though, so I might need to just find myself a source of water, some dew or whatever, before we even attempt that. Whoa. Grab all of that, and yeah, let's just look for some dew if we can find that. I don't see any nearby, in fact. Oh, just over here. Let's go grab some water. Then we should be able to circle back around. There might be some water to drink in that camp as well, if we're lucky. Oh yes, that's right, I do want some blood. Yeah, a bit of extra Solari doesn't hurt. Okay, so I see at least a couple of them. There's a few more over there. Yeah, so this could be a difficult fight to deal with. It might be a good idea for us to not charge in there and just have them come to us.
Who's that? I don't have it. Who's that?
Yeah, it's actually quite difficult to be accurate with this weapon. I am missing quite a few of my shots. Alright, let's get in there. Oh, where's the way up? I don't see it from here.
Eyes on hostile!
Yeah, just up here. Nice. Oh, they're just down. There we go. I have a little bit of time to gather some blood. We'll take that. We will heal, actually. Yeah, let's just have a look around this area first before moving further in. We are wanting to look for that intel though, so must be somewhere here. Okay, let's go further up. Nice. One more.
They're coming!
Good. Take everything. I do need to heal up a little bit more. There's the intel. Have all of that, and any other enemies, or other loot, for that matter.
The Kirab have their market going again. Looks like they've chosen Mirzabah this year. There are scores of them camped out all around the Hammer. Of course, that's only a problem if you need to go by there. For the rest of us, it means more time to work without some dirty bandit stealing everything you find.
I think I heard one out this way. Maybe up top or something? No, right here. Nice. Take all of that, and is there anything upstairs, I wonder? I don't think so. Alright, we may have looted the entire place. I mean, the most important thing is obviously the intel. I'll take all their fuel though. That'd be quite useful. Okay, another player. Don't think they've noticed us just yet. go around. Okay, pretty happy with that. But now we do need to figure out how to get across here. I guess we should try going across that way. So let me just put a marker down. Make sure that we're going the right way. Sardaukar ship up there. Probably won't want to mess with that.
Identify yourself. Look here.
I think there's the ship off in the background there. Problem is just making sure that we're not spotted by any of these patrols. Now might be a good time. Maybe. Let's hope so. Oh god. Yeah, okay. Still pretty safe.
There's someone out there. Gotcha.
Nice. I'm getting a little bit worried about our inventory space though. Especially considering we're about to arrive at a destination where we definitely want to loot. Perhaps maybe I could let go of things like metal salvage or maybe even my copper ore. If we really, really need to. So, we need to get to the shipwreck, gather plasteel microflora fibers, and mechanical parts. Okay. We'll see if we can find those things. I'm still curious about where to find the spice-laced whatever it was that we needed. Let me just take another look at this. Spice-infused, rather. Copper dust. So I'm assuming that the game is sort of working its way to, you know, showing us how to get that. Oh yeah, look at this big ship. If I can just get myself in, that would be really nice. So, is this an entranceway? I don't know. Maybe there's another way in. There we go. This looks like a proper entrance. I'm sure there are going to be plenty of enemies. Oh, okay, this is locked. They don't even care that we're here. We're going to have to find the key for that. What appears to be some kind of a bridge. Okay, so we got a few of those things. Mechanical parts and the microflora. Yeah, definitely enemies in the area. Oh! So much for stealth. Okay, we've got 2 targets. Nice. Let's get in while we still have the buff. Alright. I'm hoping we'll find some water in here, actually. Getting a little bit worried about that. I hear some gunfire. Maybe another player. Okay, this loops back around.
Reveal yourself. Where's my reinforcements?
Good. Alright. I'm getting shot at, though, from somewhere. I don't know if they're about to loop around. Okay, that AI was a little bit janky there. Didn't even realize we were here. I'll take it. I'll take every advantage. That could be a boss. Oh my goodness. Oh, get us out. Oh no. Self-revive. Okay, good. We're still in it. Still in it. Let's heal. And yeah, this is totally doable, I think. Yeah, I don't know what exploded there, but that was very bad for us. And the fire seems to last quite a long time. We'll grab that. Ooh, what else do we have here? Calef's Drinker. A new dagger. A unique Kinjal. But we're going to need all sorts of stuff that we don't have to try and research this. So maybe schematics have to be dropped in to fabricators or whatever. So these guys are just other players, yeah. So it seems like loot might not even be first come, first serve. Perhaps maybe you can simply share like all the spoils of a particular dungeon with everyone. You don't have to rush in. Yeah, I think we explored everything, so... Whoops, no, that's not the right way. Time to get out of here. Yeah, we'll just come around and... I think we're done. So we do need a little bit of copper ore. And obviously we've got our other contract here to try and get to as well. But I feel like maybe it's a good time for us to return back to the base and check out what's going on with some of the schematics that we've picked up. And on top of that, I do need to gather up some more copper ores as well. So I'll see you guys back at base. Okay guys, we are back home. And just as well, because our backpack is chock-a-block full right now, can't really pick up anything else, but I do have the ores that are required. It looks like we've got a few new objectives now. So research the scavenger rags, Karpov 38 and the Kinjal. Okay, so we'll definitely do that. The scavenger rags, I assume that might be a new set of armor. But yeah, before we even do anything though, I might actually hydrate and drop in more blood for purifying. So yeah, let's actually drink. And we'll throw all of that in. We've still got a little bit more, so I've got to wait for more water to process. And yeah, we should deposit all of our fuel cells as well. We got 37 minutes, I think. We're at 100%. Actually, no. This one says total uptime 20 days, 20 hours. Perhaps maybe I have enough fuel cells at the moment. Yeah, I can't even, like, put in any more fuel cells. And in fact, that's probably what's weighing us down quite a bit. I've been going crazy with the fuel cells, but maybe I misunderstood how often I actually need the fuel cells. So I could probably stash some of these fuel cells for now. And let's see. I've got a whole bunch of Solari here. I'm going to stash as well, because I get a little bit worried that I could die and then maybe I couldn't recover it. And yeah, we've got a lot of copper ores. Maybe I can make some more ingots. I've got plenty of ingots here. Let me throw ingots together. And I think I can throw those ores in there as well. Micro sandwich fabrics, sure. EMF generators, sure. Got plenty of plant fibers and more salvaged metal. I think I can maybe stack that there. And the fibers. Yeah, as much as we can. That looks good to me. And yeah, we've got a few other bits and pieces now. Small vehicle fuel cell. We've not really had a need for that. And we've been hanging on to it for a while. Yeah, okay, that looks decent. So let's figure out how to make all of this stuff. So we do need to do some research initially. So here, wreck of the Alcyon. So scavenger rags. I guess that gives us a new set. Let's confirm. And then the Karpov 38, new weapon. Very happy about that. And then the Kinjal. Nice. So how do we get rid of these, though? apparently we've got spice-infused copper dust, but I don't recall when I got that. So why is that suddenly available to us? Spice-infused copper dust. Is that from producing copper ingots? I'm not sure, actually. Maybe it's like a byproduct or something. Okay, anyway. So if we use the fabricator... hang on. Research schematic. Hold F. There we go, alright. Research Hadra Liturgon Mark 1, unique schematic. Upon using this item, you will obtain 1 Imperial permit for Hadra Liturgon Mark 1. Okay. So, I guess when they say permit, though, it just means that I can make it once. Is that right? I think so. We apparently have all that's required to make it. I suppose maybe there's a durability for this thing. So, it's not like we can use it indefinitely. Let's take that. So there it is. So my assumption then is we should be able to use that periodically when we need to recover some water. So can I extract water from here? Yes, I can. Yeah, so I have a few batches of water that I can now drink from this container. At least for a period of time. Until I get, like, another container. Okay, so let me just take a look at this then. Spice-infused copper dust. Yeah, I think I'm getting more of this copper dust after actually crafting... Sorry, not crafting, crafting the copper ingots. So we may as well research this, and we should actually get that blade as well. That's not exactly the Kinjal that we need to complete the quest, but I'm hoping that we could complete the quest by simply making this, because it is also a type of Kinjal, right? So we also need the Karpov, I think, 38, and then we do need the scavenger set. Scavenger rag. Yeah, let's continue to make even more of these ingots. There's no reason why we shouldn't, I don't think. Okay, and let's go with that armor set. So, the still suit is something that you would wear underneath the armor? Or how does that work? I'm not entirely sure. I can't really get this last one. I guess maybe I need to let everything finish first before I'm able to do so. I kind of regret making an additional metal knife now, because we are going to switch to the dagger. Let me switch that up, and the probe launcher, I might want to make an additional probe for that. Apparently we don't have copper ingots. And we don't have enough plasteel microflora. I might need to actually go back to that ship again to try and get this. I thought we had enough, but maybe I used it for something else. Well, let's continue making more of these ingots in that case. Okay, let's throw this stuff on. Right. Okay, so the still suit is one entire set. Let's see what's going on there. So we'll probably need to work with that for a little bit more until we get all of the right ingredients. We can go for the scavenger hood. But will I need the stillsuit mask? I don't think I will, and we are still also saving water using this armor set. But yeah, disappointingly, I will need to go back out to the ship to try and regather more of those materials. So bear with me, folks. This might take a little bit of time, but because we've already cleared out most of our inventory, I think it might be safe for us to continue to Proving Grounds to try and kill this Atu Golvan. So what I might do is actually see you when we get there and see if we can try and complete that quest line. Right, folks, we have the microflora fibers and the other sort of mechanical components that we needed from the ship, and we're getting very close to the place that we need to go to try and find that target, Atu Golvan. I'm assuming maybe he might be within this sealed cave right here. I thought I could hear something. Gunfire? Or perhaps maybe it's just the soundtrack. I'm not sure. Anyway, we've got Caliph's stand. Break in and let's see what we can find inside. And we can make use of our new weapons now, which is really nice. There we go. That's Atu Golvan done. That was too easy, actually. Oh, right. So there are multiple targets that he wanted us to find, not just the one. Alright. Hirsi Toll in Shamal Tunnel. So, where is that? Okay, just further up that way. It's not really too much more of a jaunt, so we may as well try and go for that as well. Let's just quickly put a marker down so we know where we're going. This must be it. Hey, this says Western Safeway though. Okay, right. I'm not nowhere close, even. But we might be able to get through the tunnel itself. Grab all of that. Anything else of value here? There we go. Yeah, I think that might be the cave over there. Just need to do a little bit of a cross. We should be right. Just before we go in, I do want to just give ourselves a few more bandages, maybe another 5 or so, just in case we need to do a little bit of healing. Stop jumping around. What the hell? Oh, I've got the wrong thing. There we go. Goodness me. Alright, better heal up. Okay, so that's one more target down. Another one over this side. Shouldn't be too difficult to get to. Here we are. Knock knock. Don't think that was the target though. Right, managed to get him with the last shot there, I think. That was a little bit close. Just trying to see if they've got any loot around. Maybe up this way. We'll take that. Okay, so we do need to report back to Gavuri. And that means we just need to make our way back to the trading post. That shouldn't be too difficult to do. I don't think that's something that I'm going to do in this episode. I might actually reserve that for the next one. For now, I am keen on getting ourselves back home to complete our requirements to fabricate the scavenger set. And we are back. So let's see if we can get this crafting done and therefore complete this last bit of this quest. So this is probably the only thing that we really need. Let's just get that going, and meanwhile we can just do a little bit of tidying up here. May as well throw that in there. And am I really gonna need the still suit anymore? Because if not, then I might even just get rid of it completely. I might let go of a few items that I know that I'm not going to be using anymore, like, you know, the Mauler pistol, for instance. yeah, I do need to get myself probably more storage at this
I've crossed the
point.
Vermilius Gap, off-worlder, and I still haven't shaken my unwanted followers. I'm afraid I must delay our reunion until... well, I fear drastic measures might be required. But fear not, off-worlder. You've come this far alone. I'm impressed. You're a long way from that mewling mauler I dragged from the wreckage of the Proteus. Listen, you'll need a vehicle to cross the sands to the Paranorth and reach the gap, but vehicles require components that aren't created here on Arrakis. Arrakis has a long history, off-worlder, more than you might imagine. Some things, like the Imperial testing stations, contain echoes of the past, but more importantly, they contain stockpiles of components you'll need. Just be careful. Those old ruins are a beacon for all kinds of scum.
Okay. So, we have actually been to an Imperial testing station before. One where we actually helped Derek complete his quest. So, yeah, we've sort of learnt a little bit more about that. We do need to probably go back there in that case, but there's obviously more than one. That was like Imperial Testing Station 2. So is there Imperial Testing Station number 1 somewhere? I'm not sure. Then we've got another contract here, Wrecking Crew. Acquire the Holtzman Amplifier. So we've been here, well, I've been here a few times now, and I can't say that I recall seeing anything like that, but we might need to go back there to see if we can complete that quest. And, I mean, gather up more materials is probably a good idea as well, but I think another trip back to the Imperial Testing Station number 2 is in order at this point. But again, that's probably something that we'll do in the next episode. For now, let's finish up by placing our armor on. And yeah, we're going to need to sort of decide what to do with all of the other stuff that we don't need anymore. I assume maybe we could just simply get rid of all of this stuff. So I might do the same thing that I did last time and just drop things off out this way. And yeah, I think our old stuff that we dropped here has disappeared. So let's just drop that, maybe drop these. I mean, worst case scenario, we can always make all of those again if we really, really need to. But I don't think there's going to be a need. Okay, let's get out of the sun. And I think this is where we're going to sign out for now. Thanks for watching, guys, as usual. Drop me a like if you enjoyed it. Get in touch by leaving some comments down below. Stay true, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.